Hey everybody, it's America's Supermom, and today I am on really briefly discussing nurturing, caring. What is a nurturing campaign? Many of you who follow me know that I am in a company that is named Send Out Cards, and I love the mission behind the company because it's all about nurturing those relationships, building those deeper connections, and what an appropriate mission for a time like this. Many of us as entrepreneurs are kind of struggling with what does tomorrow look like? Not next 30 days or 90 days, but how are things going to be different just 24 hours from now? So as we settle into this period of uncertainty with a pandemic that is um, paralyzing many places in the world, we have to sit down and we have to imagine, what is life going to look like after this virus subsides to some point to where we can begin to pick up life possibly where we left off. And what is that going to look like? How are things going to change? And what is going to be the new normal, the comfort zone that we can begin to feel comfortable with? So as I ponder these type of questions, I recognize that as a mother of 15, as a first lady to a church congregation, as a leader in the community, um, I think that it's important to recognize that this is an uncertain time. It can also be very disheartening and scary to many of us. Many of us are not only challenged with um, changing how our industries are looking, the landscape of actually working outside the home, to having our children be at home with us and educating online. So not only are many of us doing the job that we have been used to for years, but we're also on overdrive because we are teaching our children, we are juggling business, we are also responsible for different duties outside the home, within the community. And, I really sit here and just reflect about, this is really what my life has been like for years, juggling many responsibilities. And as I reflect, I look back and think, wow, I really thought I had it um, difficult, back then. There were so many things that I felt were overwhelming. And now to see that this is a global pandemic and many people are faced with kind of like a look into what life has been like for me for years. Um, just on a grand scale, just having them be forced to make these kind of decisions um, without any prior knowledge is just really amazing to witness. Um, of course, there are many more dynamics that are even more challenging than what I might have experienced within my life. But the challenges of trying to juggle so many different areas um, of life, from professional, personal, and family um, goals and aspirations, it really hits home in a different way. So it's really during this time that I'm very empathetic and compassionate for so many people, because I can only truly imagine what life is like for many who are going through this time of chaos and uncertainty. So I really challenge many of you to kind of think, even though it seems like things are out of control and we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next, to think about how you can, one, take control and empower yourself during this time. What are some things that are non-negotiable for you? Some things that you can control regardless of what's going on outside the four walls of your home. And begin to create your own set of standards and implementing your own routines so that you can begin to move forward in a way that serves you and where you are positive about whatever lies down the road ahead. I also encourage you to collaborate with others during this time. Reach out, begin to build connections and deeper relationships, because we are not alone in this. There are so many people that are struggling with their mindset, how to make sense of everything. Their jobs are changing. They have to learn new skills, new apps, or change technology. There's so many different things that are changing at a moment's notice. And, it's so important for us to have empathy and compassion for one another and to communicate effectively during this time. Not assume things, not think that we're alone, but be able to ask different questions and listen actively, not just get caught up in our own scenarios. So I want to talk really quickly. I've kind of gotten off topic here about what it means to nurture. What is a nurture campaign? So as an affiliate of Send Out Cards, one of the things that I like to build with my clients, people that are connected with me, whether in person, family, friends, is to build relationships. So as a mother of 15 with 11 of them who were sheltered in place, I think it's important to recognize that we can sometimes think corporately and forget about the individuals. So the opportunity to send out cards and personal greeting cards to where you were able to highlight your connections and relationships with individuals is so important. And this is something that we need to be mindful of thinking about during this time, because many of us are suffering in our own different ways. And so being able to reach out, nurture those contacts and letting them know, hey, I see you right now. I know that it's a challenge, it's a struggle. However, I'm here for you. Or, just the transparency of, hey, I'm struggling right now. I need help with ideas for easy cooking recipes, for being able to juggle work and school. So maybe, you might have had 2 hours to cook a meal. Now that's dwindled down to 35 to 45 minutes. So what are some quick recipes that are filling, easy to make, they stretch and go a long way for that time frame? So it's an opportunity for us to reach out and figure out ways that we can come together and recognize what it is we're going through. This is something that is unprecedented. We've had tragedies and issues related to health with different scares where there's, epidemics that occur. But a pandemic, I've never seen this in my lifetime. So it's an opportunity for us to create what legacy we want to have um, moving forward. What are some things during this time that have placed us in a position to reevaluate some of the non negotiables and values that we want to continue to live on and do not want to die off with this virus? You know, we have been very tech savvy and disconnected from family and friends. And one of the things that this pandemic has gotten us to be mindful of is those deeper connections, you know, contacting and having that face to face interaction to have that human element added to your day. So I know I have virtual coffees with people. We even have virtual meetings with our extended family. So there's so many different creative things that we have been able to incorporate during this pandemic to continue with that human connection, even though we are physically distancing at this time. So a nurture campaign is just taking the opportunity to recognize what are the needs for your family, what are the needs for your clients as it relates to business. You know, you might have been used to having that face-to-face interaction, but it's looking a little different right now. We are forced to do things online and stay 6 feet or more apart away from each other in order to limit the spread of a virus that for some it has minimum consequence, and for others it is fatal. So, you know, we're in this uncertainty, not knowing if we were to acquire the virus, if it could be fatal for us or really sick, you know, to where we're hospitalized. And then we have to worry about quarantining and how our other family members might be affected. So it is just really a scary time. And like I said, one that we have never experienced before. And I think it's important to nurture our relationships and keep the momentum going for the energy that, you know, is lying there. So, yeah, we may be faced with a lot of numbers that change daily or disruption in the industries. You know, but there are lots of businesses that are thriving. There are lots of people that are moving forward and holding up the economy during this time. The first responders, the nurses, the doctors, the truck drivers, the grocery clerks, the bankers, the people who are doing so much to bear the burden and weight of the whole world right now. The people who are delivering products, you know, we are at home and have the convenience of ordering things online. And, you know, we have essential workers who are making sure that we are still able to function to some degree while we are at home and still have the conveniences of people dropping that at our door. And I really don't think we are really comprehending the magnitude of the blessings that we still have, because so many people have had the rug pulled out from underneath them with their families being separated, being quarantined alone, or maybe they're in jail and they can't see their loved ones because of physical distancing and just not having answers and clarity and, you know, the freedom to even be able to see, touch, or feel their family members during a time like this with no warning. I mean, there's so many things that we could take the perspective of, and actual things that are going on that we sometimes miss and forget. So as we nurture one another, we are catering to the pain that many of us are feeling and building a transparent connection and a bond that will bring us further past this pandemic. It will give us a foundation and an anchor with our relationships upon which we can build in the future. So, a nurture campaign is just taking the time to recognize those people that we're connected to in a meaningful way. And for the company I'm with is sending out cards. It is taking a few moments out of your day while you're on your smartphone or on your computer, clicking on an app and creating a special memory of something in time that cannot be recaptured, and recognizing that and putting it on a card that is going to serve as a memory for years to come. It's an opportunity to create a legacy in the mind of your clients, and leaving an impact that is far greater than an email message, a voicemail, or sometimes even a video, but something that they're able to see, feel, and touch, and that really captures the fact that you took that extra time and effort to recognize them during such a overwhelmingly uncertain time. Just creates a deeper bond. So I wanted to do this podcast as an opportunity to remind people that send out cards may not be for you. There is a little bit of a pitch to it because, I love it. I love the fact that I can be at home with 11 kids and dealing with homeschooling, doing podcasts and coaching and creating content. And I can just take 2 or 3 minutes out of any day and create some greeting cards and send them, and the impact that it has in the lives of my clients and connections is just overwhelming. It's a great feeling to plant those seeds, so to speak, and then, a few days later, get a phone call of gratitude because I thought enough to make such a special gesture memorable for many of my connections. So I just wanted to tell you that the greeting cards may not be for you, but think about ways that you can nurture your clients, your family, your spouses, your children in a meaningful way that can create a deeper bond during this time as we prioritize what's important in our life and how we can do things better and how we can make relationships stronger. Really dig deep and find some ways that you can accomplish this. It might be handwritten letters. It could be Zoom calls to see someone face to face and no longer hiding behind the telephone, but being able to have that face to face interaction with that accountability and the ability to communicate even more effectively. So, this podcast is about moving forward in a new normal, whatever that looks like today, tomorrow, and the next day, but doing it in a way that is mindful of building relationships, seeking deeper connections, and remembering and having empathy and compassion for people that are connected to you, and taking the time to recognize them for that. So I challenge you to begin to have a nurture campaign. Think about ways that you could help other people during this time, and even send people thank you cards, recognizing them for the things that they've done to help you. So that is pretty much all I have for today. Remember that especially during this time where we are physically distanced from one another, that a call, a card, a video, a text message, a engagement on a social media post, all are different ways that we can nurture other people and let them know that we care.